Hi, this is Tim Kenning and welcome to my first attempt at a Camtasia capture of a PowerPoint video that will explain at least some of the things that I've been talking about. Hang on. This is going to be, I'll see if I can do this one take like I did with the audio. I had a little something to put in front of the microphone so you wouldn't hear all the P's and B's. Apparently that's a good thing to do. And I haven't even got that in front of me at the moment, but hey, this is it. Making stuff up. I'd already decided that I was going to create something. I knew I could come up with something. If I was given the time and the mental space in order to... It was a bit of a luxury with the life that I was leading at the time and all the things that were happening. Perhaps I just wanted some clear space and time to think about stuff. But I knew from that place, I really believed that I could come up with something. So I actually did, having given myself permission to create stuff, because I looked around me and thought, well, there's plenty of things that I'm trying to make sense of that kind of look like people have made stuff up, and that included books I was reading and even some comments. Richard Bandler's comment about the structure of magic and the three universals of human modelling, and that being the resource for it, the reference for it. It was something, this is where it first appears. So yeah, I'm going to make some stuff up. So I looked at a book. The book was called Staff Training and Assessment, and in that book there are loads and loads of diagrams of things with 4 in. So that was my starting point. I was going to come up with something with 4 in it. So this is what I ended up with, and this is the end result that I spoke to you about on the audio. Risk assessment grid, where we have intellectual, physical, risk, safe, emotional and financial elements, and you could plot on that graph or that grid post-it notes with A, B and C on, and A, B and C would relate to specific issues, so you didn't have to write them all on the post-it note, if you see what I mean. You'd have a list of the things that came up, and you just assign a letter of the alphabet to them, and you could stick them on the post-it. Over here and here, you can actually see this, can't you? And over here and over here. Right. But that wasn't the point. Where did it come from? That's the interesting thing, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as this goes as a creative exercise. And that was... That's annoying when it does that. I started from, what do I know? I'm going to make up something with 4 in it, right? So what do I know that's already got 4 in it? So the first thing that sprung to mind was the Marx Brothers. I've read loads of books on the Marx Brothers, and there are 4 Marx Brothers. Well, 5 actually, but there was 4 in a number of the films. So we have the 4 Marx Brothers, and the first thing that came to mind was, well, Groucho. He's one of my favourites, although they all have their own attributes and characteristics, as we'll see. Groucho. What was it about Groucho? Well, he was always reading. He was always reading books and kind of overcompensating for not going to college, and reading and reading and reading. So I thought, well, he would represent the intellectual side of things. And then down here we have Zeppo. He was the tough guy, the street fighter, and he used to sort out altercations with managers and even writers when they were out on tour. So I had Groucho and Zeppo. One was intellectual, the other one physical. So I've got 2 opposites. Groucho and Zeppo, physical, intellectual. Consider those 2 opposites. Well, I've got 2 Marx Brothers left. So the question I asked myself was, well, what are those 2 opposites of? And the story that sprang to mind was that when Chico was asked, how much money have you got left? No. How much money have you spent on gambling, drink, women? His answer was, go and find Harpo, ask Harpo how much he's got saved, and that's how much I've spent. So that seemed like it was another example of 2 opposites. One was safe and one was risk. So hence this became a risk assessment grid, and I added emotional and financial I've tested this out with some people, see if they thought there was some value in it. The value I see in it is it's a way of plotting different aspects of a project or a plan, just seeing where they turn up. If they're all on one side and it's all very risky, well, you might want to consider the other factors. Anyway, that wasn't the point. The point was that I could come up with something that was plausible and had some value, that didn't exist until I set out to do it. So that's how that came about. It was simply, I'm going to make something up. I'm going to create the starting point. So that's what I take away from this. Make something up just for the hell of making something up. Create or find a starting point, a fixed point. And I started with a number, and it was a number 4. You can start from anywhere, but keep it simple, because the idea is to do something, and do something quickly, and get into that sort of habit of thinking, well, actually, I can create stuff, and then test it. Go and ask people and see what the value they have. You don't have to say it's your thing. You can say, hey, I've got this and it's supposed to do this. What do you think? And get some honest feedback from them. Yeah, hey. But that wasn't the point. The point was to prove a point. There's too many points there, isn't there? That I could make stuff up. And it could be, you know, just as good as some of the other stuff I've read. So that was the bit that I missed out from the audio, the first one that I did. Because it kind of needs to be a picture, and I've just figured out how to do a very basic little video capture. These are photographs of some flip charts I had, and I'm going to say that's it. I'll speak to you soon. Over and out.